guys, Tasteless Dubs here at the GSL Codes Finals. How you doing today, man?
Tasteless, I am so excited. We have an amazing match here today. Thank you all for joining us so much. And in fact, right now, get on Twitter
Please.
and hashtag the GSL. Just hashtag the shift in the 3 button, GSL, and type whatever you want. In fact, I just made a tweet. A lot of people retweeting. We're going to get this trending. We're going to get nerds all over the world watching this. Even some nerds who, unfortunately, have not been able to watch
Those
StarCraft 2 yet.
Messing up.
Think
we
about
have
that.
A little bit of downtime here before the actual show commences. They're doing a few things on the Korean stream before the show actually starts. We have a little bit of time to chit-chat. So, yeah, spread the word. Cheers to all you guys at the Barcrafts as well.
Yeah.
Out there.
In fact, let us know if you're at a Barcraft.
Yeah,
I'm
tweet us.
Artosis. He is Call Me Tasis. Of course, add GomTV
Yes.
to your Twitter list as well. Oh, man. I'm so stoked for this.
I think this might be our best finals. By the way, it is so packed in here. With this, there are actually we ran out of seats.
There
Literally,
are
we ran out
so
of
many
seats.
people standing up in here.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable.
I've never
Every
seen
single
anything like
seat
this.
filled, and this is a big auditorium. We've had some big events here in the past. Look at that, our brand new trophy being shown there. But this is unbelievable, man.
This is huge.
And
I've never seen it this packed here. In fact, when I came in earlier for a rehearsal, I looked around at the seats and I thought,
was like, "Oh my
well, man,
God,
I hope
there's
they
a
can.
lot."
I hope they can fill this up." Well, they did that and more. There's
And
just
look
literally
at that,
no
a crowd
room.
shot, and you can see the Gomtagon, our
Yeah.
Gom Octagon, where 2 nerds will enter, but only one will remain.
Only one will leave alive.
Yes.
This is going to be huge. I think this will probably be our closest finals.
You think so?
Tell me.
Our finals, Jakji against Lenok, and our finals of DRG against MMA. Unbelievably close both. Unbelievably awesome both. You think this one will match up to those two?
Yeah, I think it's going to be better. That's
Well,
my
you know,
gut
DRG's kind of like that, though, isn't he? He brings stuff down to the wire always.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you just can't kill DRG, man. He holds on. Like
very
that
true.
finals against MMA that we did in the Blizzard Cup at the end of the year. I mean, he went down 0-3,
That
came
was
back
something
3-0,
else.
and then had the closest 7th game ever on a map that heavily favored Terran.
Now, guys, get online and participate in our prediction, our polls, basically, excuse me. We use that data to see exactly where the fans think the players are going to end up.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be one of those results where it should be sort of 50-50, but I don't know. You know, we just got back from the MLG Winter Arena where we saw DRG get second place. Everybody
Second place.
expected him to get first place.
Yeah, and
lost
he
to
came out of the
Ranking Prime.
the loser bracket, actually, and Marine King ended up being able to take it, which is actually a great storyline in and of itself.
Right.
He finally has a big championship under his belt instead of just all these smaller tournaments that he's won.
Yeah.
DRG, though, you know, he's had some pretty big wins, all right? He had the DreamHack Valencia win. He's done really well for himself, but kind of recently he's had a lot of second places. He's had a lot of third places at MLG. So second place at the recent MLG. He had second place in Blizzard Cup. He had second place in the LG 3D Invitational. You know, he has a ton of second and third places. He's still looking for a tournament like this to take down.
And of
You know,
course,
the DreamHack Invitational, of course, huge, but I mean, this is the GSL Codes Finals, the biggest, greatest.
this is the biggest, most competitive esports tournament.
It's unbelievably
on
difficult.
Earth. And it's different from any other event because it's, for GSL Codes, actually any GSL, I should say, it's one match, maybe a week or every 2 weeks. So you have so much time to
You
prepare.
see, the type of play you see here is much more planned out than anything you're going to see elsewhere. They're two very different skills, of course. You know, when you play a live event where you have to do the whole thing in a weekend,
Yeah.
it shows, how good you can do on the fly.
Overall, how if you're balanced
Yeah.
up to play.
For instance, here, if DRG wins, that's so impressive because, first off, DRG did, that weekend at MLG just last weekend, so Genius got to practice throughout that. And he showed a lot of his great builds during that. And, of course, being teammates, they're going to know each other quite well. It's going to be, oh, man, just astounding.
It's going to be pretty
I'm
epic.
excited.
Genius has got that really unique play style that I love to study.
He's so smart, and he mixes his builds fantastically.
When you scout this guy, it doesn't even matter what you see.
He might
because
do what you're seeing. He might do something completely different.
Yeah.
He's going to mess with your brain.
He's a smart player.
A
but of
genius,
course,
some might say.
as some might
All
coin
might say,
coin
in
it.
fact.
Now, another interesting story here is that they're both teammates and good friends.
Yeah, very good friends, actually.
So, How do you play against somebody you train with, somebody you share all your secrets with? That's the hardest thing to do.
Well, we're going to be seeing a lot of mind games and builds that they, for instance, if I am Genius and I'm playing against DRG, he knows the map that I really prefer on this build, the build I really prefer on this map, rather. Do I do that build, which he's going to expect? Do I do something that looks like that build but is something completely different? Because then he's going to see it, he's going to be like, I expected this from you, but then it's something else. You might catch him off guard. So we're going to see maybe some weird timings, because let's face it, all right, DRG, best Zerg in the world. Okay, he's better than Nestea, he's better than Leenock, he's better than any Zerg in the world right now.
Yeah, he is.
Genius, absolutely top 5 Protoss in the world. I put him even higher than that. I think he's top 2, top 3. Might even be the best. It's really hard to say with Protoss, a little bit more stylized race. But anyways, anything we see that looks like a little bit unfresh, a little bit not good, is probably just them going for slower timings, altered builds that look slightly like something else to trick each other because of how much they know each other, how well they know each other's styles.
Absolutely. Now, I have to say that I think in this match, we're going to have a very so I got distracted. We had a photographer come over and take a photo of me. I didn't think we were going to be back on camera that quick. No, I'm just so pumped. And I think what we're going to see here today is going to change the way we see, the way we understand PvZ. PvZ is, I think, one of the least figured out matchups.
Yeah, but it's been evolving a lot, and I think that DRG has by far the highest understanding as far as Zerg goes right now.
Right.
It was Nestea forever.
Yeah.
Okay, he is understood it best forever. In fact, I would put him right up there with DRG, but DRG can execute more. He's quicker, okay? And that helps out so much. And his understanding of ZVP actually it's breathtaking. When we saw him play a lot in the MLG recently, he showed us things, amazing things that you would not even expect out of anyone. His timings were amazing. He was hitting these builds that no other Zerg in the world can do. And I can't wait to see what he brings here fresh. He's been home for about 3-4 days.
Yeah.
He was on our plane with us, actually. So
he's had time to adjust. Yeah, he was on our plane.
Yeah.
He's had time to adjust from jet lag. There's no excuses. He's probably enough time to prepare his builds. And, it wasn't a ZVP finals at MLG Winter Arena, so it's not like Genius got to study that.
No. But, there were a lot of games. He played some of the top Protoss in the world, like Oz, and I think that's what Genius is going to be basing a lot of this series off of. He's going to have to look at those games and say, okay, I get the trends in your play. I kind of feel like I know what you're going to do. For instance, first map, Daybreak, that is going to be one that he's seen a ton of DRG games on, and DRG loves Master Roach there.
You're right. You've summed this up better than I could, man. You were on, Artosis.
Thanks.
I can't believe it's so packed in here.
Oh,
there are more and more people filling in, and
my God!
No, I know. I can see it right past you, and it's just insane how many people are here.
You know what?
Our finals are
actually
huge,
is, though?
but they're never so packed. In fact, I don't even know if there's a way to visually capture how many people are actually down here.
You'd need to have the Eye of Sauron hooked up to a camera to actually see how big this is. But you said it's insane how many people are here. I would agree, but StarCraft 2 is the greatest game, the greatest sport in the entire world. This is the most sane thing I've ever seen. Everyone should be here.
And guys, remember, at any GSL event, entry is free. So you come
unless I'm at the door, then I charge you $1.
Yeah, no, that's we're standing
there. Take a little bit on the side.
And like, unless you go through me, then it's $3. No, but seriously, any GSL event is completely and totally free. So come down here and check it out. I know a lot of our viewers end up becoming tourists or students here in Seoul.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing
experience.
Seoul
is a beautiful city to visit.
Seoul is my favorite city. I've been everywhere. I've been to Paris, Hong Kong, New York, everywhere. And Seoul is by far the sexiest place.
It is.
It just is.
Wondrous place.
Here we're getting a shot of where our one of our two champions will battle it out. DRG and Genius are going to face it off in the octagon, the Gomtagon. Kind of a new setup we have here.
Yeah, it's pretty cute, man.
Yeah, I like it. Now, I'm really curious to see, though, I don't know. I think Game 1's going to be incredibly important in this. Because
it's going to set the flow.
Yeah, because I'm under the impression this should go to game number 7 or at least 6. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm wrong, but that's my feeling.
I'm going to spoil one of the stats we had earlier just to talk about this now that you brought it up.
Sure.
In GSL Finals history, this is the 12th GSL that we're counting as actual GSLs.
Right.
So we've had other events as well, and we didn't count all of them. if you win the first game, you win almost every time. Only one player ever lost game one in the finals and then won the series, and that was Nesty. And of course, it's
and
Nesty.
Of course, it's Nesty. What are you going to do?
Nesty, like, he doesn't. If he gets the finals, he wins. So he can throw the first 3 games. It doesn't matter. But anyways.
Right.
Get ready.
Greetings from Seoul, Korea, and welcome to the GSL Grand Finals. Code S. It's going to probably be one of our best Code S's yet.
I have no doubt about that.
It has
so far. It's been my favorite game-wise. And here we go. Time to introduce the players.
Here we have our MC. We will now introduce one of our 2 StarCraft 2 pro gamers here in the finals. The first season here of this year, GSL.
That's
Code
right.
S. Yep.
This is the new Code S. It's a lot harder than it ever was. You have to really be worth it to stay in Code S now.
Yeah, there's so much on the line here. Now that StarCraft 2 has been much more figured out, this is just going to be a moment where we're really going to see who's top of the line. Now our first player is MVP Genius.
One of the greatest Protosses in the world. Most of the Korean scene was pretty sure he'd win one of the first 3 GSLs, but he met an early demise in all of them. Well, then he fell off, but he is back far better than ever. He used to be the best Protoss in the world. Is he again? I think he might be.
We will have to find out. He is now going towards the octagon, the Gontagon. Giving some high fives to his fans. We did split up the sides here so that everybody that's on the side that he's on is rooting for him. Everybody on the other side is a fan of his opponent, DRT Dongragu.
If I was from the MVP Genius side, I would do something genius, like put one of my fans on the other side as a heckler.
We've got some hooligan over there. And now we will, of course, have to introduce our other player. And I believe through the process of elimination, it's pretty hard to figure out who it's going to be. A very scary Zerg, if not the best Zerg.
MVP Dongragu. My opinion, the best player in the entire world. Not just the best Zerg, but overall, I feel like he is the best player that there is right now. Tasos,
yeah.
He is the man to beat. If you beat him in any series that's more than a best of 1, good on you, because he is almost unstoppable in every matchup.
This is a huge moment for him. For him to get a first-place finish in a GSL Code S would mean so much. His style is so perfect, so hard to follow. And here's what you can see, his fans on this side.
He is one of the big fan favorites in the sport today, Tasos.
Well, he's a charming guy. He kind of breaks that gamer stereotype that people want to cling to so badly. Actually, both these two.
Both very handsome, intelligent, and well-spoken.
Yeah. So, we have our 2 players out now, which means we have to move on.
To an interview, I think.
No, I think we're just going to go right to the a little bit of distance right there. No handshake. It's on right now. They will go to their respective booths. Booths are soundproofed, and
정말 어려운 상대들을 이기고 올라와서 아직도 믿기지가 않는데 그래도 이렇게 올라와서 너무 좋고 결승 상대가 박수호라서 더 좋아요.
게이머 생활 한 지 딱 1년 정도 된 것 같은데 작년 3월부터 GSL 결승을 꼭 오고 싶었는데 번번이 기회를 놓쳐서 아쉬웠는데 이번에 또 이렇게 올라오게 돼서 너무너무 기뻐요.
뭐 좀 연습을 많이 하게 된 계기가 아빠가 좀 블리즈컨 우승을 하실 때 엄청 좋아하셨거든요. 그래서 그 이후에 좀 우승을 더 할 줄 아셨나 봐요. 계속 지다 보니까 잔소리 비슷하게 좀 하시더라고요. 그것 때문에 연습을 좀 많이 해서 이렇게 된 것 같아요.
민수가 제일 컸던 것 같아요. 네. 민수가 올라가는데 제가 떨어질 수는 절대 없기 때문에 민수 경기 올라가는 걸 보고 또 불타올라서 저도 무조건 올라가야 되겠다는 생각을 하면서 네, 이렇게 하다 보니까 네, 결승까지 온 것 같아요. 저희 팀 내 선수들은 민수가 방송 해설 잘하는 걸 저 도저히 이해를 못 하는데 이상하게 방송 경기만 하면 잘 하는 것 같아서 뭐 방송 경기라면 토스 세 손가락 안에는 드는 것 같아요. 네.
저는 솔직히 별로 못한다고 생각을 하는데 계속 대회 때 이기는 게 좀 신기하고 32강에서 2대 1도 아니고 2대 0으로 이겼기 때문에
그때 32강에서 자력으로 못 올라갈 것 같아서 그냥 친구로서 도움의 손길을 준 것뿐인데 그 일 이후로 너무 저를 무시하더라고요. 그래서 이번엔 제대로 한번 보여주려고요.
글쎄요, 팀원들이 좀 계속 거품이라고 저를 놀리고 있는데 모두 수호를 응원한다고 하더라고요. 그래서 뭐 별 신경 안 쓰고 팀원들 뭐 수호를 처참하게 이기는 방법밖에 없을 것 같아요.
민수가 그렇게 팀원들한테 많이 베풀지 않았어요. 제가 정말 많이 베풀어서 애들이 저를 응원하는 것 같아요. 네. 이번에 약속한 게 있는데 TV와 함께 이렇게 게임용 기기를 사서 조그마한 게임방을 하나 차려볼까 내 생각 중이에요.
아니, 쏘기야 쏘는데 TV는 좀 아닌 것 같거든요. 생각해도 솔직히 좀 제대로 하면 4대 0을 낼 수 있는데 결승전이다 보니까 3점은 줄 것 같아요. 네, 4대 2.
저도 동감이에요. 네, 저도 마음만 먹으면 4대 0으로 이길 수 있는데 그래도 팬분들이 오시니까 제 마음속 스코어는 4대 0이고요. 방송에 보여지는 건 한 4대 2쯤?
유령 패치 때문에 지금 네가 여기 있는 거고 네가 여기 왜 있는지 나도 모르겠다. 4대 0 해줄 수도 있는데 2, 3점은 줄 수 있도록 하겠다.
민수야, 내가 조금 이번 결승도 지난 결승처럼 좀 드라마틱하게 이기고 싶거든. 그래서 한 2-3점은 줄 수 있는데 그 정도 줄 수 있게 좀 네가 따라와줬으면 좋겠고 비록 내가 우승하더라도 울지는 말았으면 좋겠어.
That has already now made this even better.
Oh, I know it, man. Genius really knows how to talk some smack, saying that he's going to give a couple sets of 3 sets. Tasteless, I don't think I've asked you yet. What do you think? What's your actual prediction for this?
I say 4-3, and I don't know who wins.
That is about the best prediction you could give. I'm pretty sure you're right.
We'll see, though. You know, a 4-0 could happen. These guys are teammates. They may have each other's playbooks, one down more than the other one. I mean, it's interesting to see that Genius is somebody who apparently does not do that well in practice, but does well in broadcast matches.
Yeah, and you know what? That's actually what matters.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how you practice, it matters how you perform.
That's right.
Let's take a look at our players.
Let's take, a little bit of a closer look here.
There they are, 2 very handsome young men from MVP.
Player number 1 is Genius. Now, he was overshadowed by most of the Protosses that we had here. Ranked 6 right now, but I sort of feel like now he's just ranked 1. If we could just take all the data as of now and put it all together.
Look at this history, man. Took out so many good players there, as you saw.
Meanwhile, player number 2, DRG. Full name, Dongregu. Full ID name, Dongregu. And as you can see, here's his Zerg ranking is 15th, but again, he's also essentially the best Zerg right now.
It's so
put all
funny
the
that
numbers
his Zerg
together.
ranking is 15th.
Yeah.
It's like Fruit Dealer's still ahead of him or something there.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's why you can't always use stats.
Look at this, Tasteless. The 7th map. Belshire Beach. Now, if it was the summer edition, Dongre Gu being from the beach in Busan, I think he'd have a huge advantage. But winter edition Belshire, Genius does not lose against Zerg there. Not at all.
Now take a look at Crossfire, by the way, 5-0 there for DRG. So if it goes to the very final set, maybe he'll have an advantage.
Genius
but if DRG
better have a
closes
lead.
out early, then he might have a good chance as well.
Yeah, he's got to have a lead going into that one, no doubt about it.
As you can see, tons of fans here. There's so many people here, and I was told the camera shot to the left. It's still so full.
I think this is the most fans we've had show up to a finals, and the most non-Koreans that we've ever had show up to a finals as well.
I believe
almost
so.
200.
Yeah, I was going to say almost 200 non-Korean fans. All right, it's getting close to time for game number 1.
This is exciting.
Genius.
I want to make a prediction, but I don't know what to make. By the way, guys, before this starts, get on Twitter.
Yes, do it.
Hashtag the GSL. Hashtag GSL. Pick whatever you want with it. Get this trending on Twitter. We got to grow esports even more.
With the Leenock and Jockey games, we got that trending
We got everything
worldwide.
trending. Everything.
Yes, and I want this trending as well. If you love esports, even if you're not crazy about it, but you're starting to do it, do it. Do it, guys.
Get more people involved.
Spread the word. This is going to be a sick match.
Esports is going nowhere but up, and you've got to be a part of that.
I never had any idea we'd have this many people filled in year 2 of StarCraft 2 being out. It's just insane.
It's wildness.
It keeps getting bigger.
And it should, because it's the best thing that there is, and I know a lot of you know this. And the ones of you who don't, you're like, I really like StarCraft, but I'm more of a baseball fan. We are going to convert you. Watch GSL this year.
You can like baseball too, that's fine. We won't judge you, but you got to like StarCraft 2 as well.
There you go. Or not just as well, more.
More.
I want this to be your favorite thing, like it's mine, and Tasteless is.
Now I'm so curious with Genius, so good at the mind games, and DRG style so perfect, and harder to break with Bamboo. I don't know how this game's going to start up, but there might be mind games we can't even see because the players know each other so well.
That's right. You can bend him, but you can't break him. Will Genius be the panda toss and eat his way through DRG?
Right, it's time. Genius against DRG, Zerg versus Protoss, game number 1 here in the finals of Season 1 of the GSL Codex. The map will be Daybreak. And now introducing the players in the bottom left. In the red, his ID is
MVP Genius.
his opponent. There's Genius now. As you can see, his last 10 matches against Zerg, 7-3. Very solid player. And now, on to his opponent. The Zerg player, the best Zerg player in the world, getting second in the MLG Winter
MVP 동래구.
DRG here to get first place in the GSL Codex.
That's what he's here for, Tasteless. We'll see if it works out. His recent 10 matches versus Protoss, just a little bit better than Genius's. 8-2 versus 7-3.
Yeah.
And don't forget, they both beat each other in GSL. So, I mean, these two are so evenly matched, it's impossible to guess who's actually going to win this. Now,
It's really tough.
yeah, and both of them have a lot of games played on Daybreak, especially DRG recently. This was a map in basically every tournament. Daybreak's one of the best maps in the world right now. And so we know the style that DRG prefers here. And look at that, blocking where the hatchery would go.
Forge first as well. So he's confident he will, in fact, force a spawning pool first. Although I believe there's spawning pools already on the way.
It's going to finish up pretty quickly here. And DRG just taking that hatch, that's fine, because guess what? He always goes 3 bases on this map against Protoss without taking a gas. And that allows him to really drone up. So from Genius, we're either going to see a timing attack on that third, or we're going to see a quick third himself. Now, the quick third yourself, when people do that against DRG, he crushes them. He just does not put up with it, Tasteless. So Genius is going to have a great plan, and I've seen it before. We might see it again.
It could not be closer.
Oh
a
my
0.2% difference. 49.8 to 50.2.
That's
close. Insane.
That's actually like flipping a coin, because flipping a coin is not 50-50.
Yeah.
The head weighs more than the tails on an American quarter.
You are smart.
Yeah, man. I know. That's why I always say, tails never fail, so I always say tails, but I should say head. Wait, no, that makes tails go heads up. Yeah. That didn't make sense, but tails lands up because heads weighs more.
Yeah.
Yes. There you go. There you have it.
I knew the one that landed more than the other one. I didn't know which one.
Yeah, it's tails.
Now, as you can see, the win rate here. There's a picture at the bottom of our screen. And again, these guys are both very solid. I don't think anybody expected it to be Genius and DRG here in the finals. DRG maybe Final Four. Not necessarily finals, but wow.
Again, I do have to say, even Genius's stats don't look as good. DRG's risen up more recently, but Genius was a StarCraft 1 Terran pro gamer, a B-teamer in StarCraft 1, obviously, which already means he's amazingly skilled at multitasking.
Yeah.
And also, he was one of the absolute best during the beta. Like, back during the beta, best Protoss in the world, or a little bit later in the beta, early StarCraft 1 after Tester started falling off a little bit, it was Genius and then MC. MC was not the best back then. He was one of. But Genius is who everyone was afraid of.
MC rose up at about month 4, I think, of StarCraft 2 being released. Does that sound right?
Something like that.
Something like that.
He started, well, he was always kick-ass, but...
Stargate.
Ooh.
We got a Stargate coming up here.
Yeah, and of course he has the 3 gas. This is the standard Genius build, in fact. Getting that quick sentry, getting his 4th gas right after starting the Void Ray, or the Stargate, rather.
Now this is so interesting.
And Don Grey Goo always goes fast expand.
Yeah. I'm really curious if he does do a Void Ray timing with Big Army.
Yeah.
I'm really curious how that's going to...
Yeah, he definitely could. He has some Void Ray builds.
I feel like DRG would hold it of all Zergs.
Well, that might be true. That might be true, but you got to try something. Let me explain the 2 builds Genius has that open Void Ray against Zerg. The one he has is a Void Ray into Phoenixes, and it's very strong at taking a 3rd base. He'll either go 5 gates with it, or he'll either go 6 gates with it, or he'll go like 4 or 5 with a Robo and a Twilight while taking his additional base with a lot of sentries, and using the Void Rays and Phoenixes to harass and stop any Roach attacks. Or he gets 1 to 2 Void Rays and starts warping in Zealots and stuff like that. But we don't have +1 on the way. Right now it's looking like the first build that I just mentioned right there.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see exactly what he wants to do with this. And he is adding a few gates, going up to 4 gates. And, all right, so it looks like he'll probably, with another Phoenix on the way, we're likely going to see a Robotics Bay and a Twilight Council go up pretty soon.
Yeah, this is a very, very middle of the road.
It's an expansion build,
proper build.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
This game's not going to end anytime soon.
Nothing flashy yet, yeah. So the Void Ray flying around, just clearing out watchtowers and the like. It's more of a defensive Void Ray. He knows that he can't actually hurt DRG with it right now.
Now, as you can see here, overall, Protoss are 20 to Zerg 13 as wins go.
That's true. That's true. At the highest level, those might not be the stats, so don't take that the wrong way. You watch DRG on this map, does he lose? Not very often.
No. Not very often indeed. Very interested to see Genius respecting DRG and not doing one of the timing builds he does so often on this map.
And, I mean, he's continuing to make Phoenixes, and he hasn't shown them yet. So that's a really important part of this game, that he hasn't shown Phoenixes. He's shown just 1 Void Ray. 1 Void Ray can be a build into anything.
Have you noticed he's not really pushing the creep at his natural expansion?
Yeah. This is actually something that Nest started to popularize a little bit more on this map, that you really focus on creep at your 3rd, because most games here, PvZ, end up being big pushes on the 3rd base of Zerg. So if you get that creep a bit further out, they can't warp in as closely, it's a little bit scarier walking up. It's a really smart way to play the map.
As you can see, these Zerglings will all be taken out, and we should see the 3rd base come up here very soon.
That's right. We do have a Twilight on the way. The +1 almost ended. Finally, the Phoenix is coming in. There are some spores, not in the greatest position, so he's going to be able to do some damage here with those 5 Phoenixes. I love how he held them back so that DRG is not completely prepared. He would definitely have a spore
he timed
there.
it out to surprise him with these Phoenixes.
If he had shown 1 Phoenix with the Void Ray early on, he would have a spore in his mineral line, and none of that damage would have been done as well. Coming down to the natural. Plenty of queens, though.
Roach is now moving out. He says, okay, the Phoenixes aren't going to be able to defend. I might as well see if I can't get some map presence over here. A lot of this will, if he does engage, depend on the force fields. Void right now spotting, giving a heads up. Oh my God!
Oh, a beautiful throw. A Robo just being started. Blinking +2 on the way, but without anything to go against Burrow, with no detection, he's going to have to burn a huge amount of force fields and be very quick as well.
He comes up once again. It's an interesting problem because the Protoss can't kill the Zerg right now, but the Zerg can't really get away. He doesn't have Burrow movement yet. That's about halfway done. The Robo's on the way. If he chrono boosts out an Observer, I don't know if he's going to get there in time. These Roaches are very valuable. He comes up, surprising him. But Phoenix is coming in very handy here.
Yeah, if he didn't have those, this would be almost a death push right here. But Genius is holding on. He's able to kill off 5 Roaches each time they unburrow.
There's an Observer halfway up. I don't know what's going to finish first, the Observer or the Roach movement. It looks like it might finish at the exact same time, and these Roaches are pretty damn valuable.
That's right. He's got to get them out of there.
He's trying to use these Roaches over here to draw them away. Genius looks like he's splitting his army up pretty damn well.
The Observer is out, and it's on its way, Tasteless, and they pop up, targeting down sentries. Beautiful move by DRG right here. Just targeting them down, good lifts, but he lost all but 1 sentry. A huge move by DRG.
Very nice control here by Genius. And right now, DRG is losing a lot of Roaches. The Phoenix is coming up here to pick up the scraps.
And it looks like he's going to lift some more. He's got to be careful, though. There's a lot of Roaches out. They have that speed, that +1, and that Burrow movement. And down they come, but good cannon placement. And it looks like Genius being pretty cost-effective, but let's not forget he lost a lot of sentries, had to rebuy some of them, so it's still a hard spot he's in.
Spire has been started. Cannons being planted very preemptively, almost too preemptively. Looks like he, because he had to have the Phoenixes back at home, he said, well, I might as well get the cannons up just in case the Spire's already done. However, that is not the case. The Spire has just started.
It's a decent choice knowing DRG's style. You know, he loves to, if he can't get you these Burrow Roach rushes, then he goes ahead right into Spire. The Spire is a bit later. I think he felt like he was going to do more damage, but Genius actually handled it reasonably well. Now, we do have Colossus on the way.
Oh, nice. The Phoenix is being very cost efficient here, hitting those Overlords.
But now with those not helping to defend at all, the Roaches can utilize Burrow a little bit better.
I love the Void Ray here being used to control this watchtower. No way. That's so smart.
Yeah.
That's so intelligent.
And look at this. Always being cost efficient with his flying units. One of the trademarks that Genius lives by. Always, always, always picking up units.
Yeah, he works them to the bone, man.
Yes, he does. He uses up all that energy. It is like a sweatshop for those Phoenixes.
The Hive is on the way now. Note DRG is taking his 4th base. +2 is finished now with +3 on the way for the Protoss.
Now, don't forget that DRG is taking a 5th base in the bottom.
Oh, I'm
right.
sorry. Excuse me. Yeah, the 5th base.
Yeah, a great move there. And in fact, goodbye, Overseer. Your time seen is over.
Now he's going to take that out. I'm sure he saw the Changeling, but he's going to have to be careful. Changelings become pretty strong in the late game.
Just flew right past some Infestors there. Now he does know Infestors are out. That's good information to have.
Changeling's been taken out. He spots the 5th. Note that DRG is still on just 3 bases. Not DRG, excuse me. Genius is still on 3 bases here.
Yeah, he is. That's quite true. He's going to have to hit some sort of timing attack coming up here.
Oh, nice bungle.
Very nice bungle indeed. And it looks like the Phoenix harassment and defense is over with.
All right,
Queens just clean that up with the Infestors.
I think Genius is going to have to get a 3rd now. I mean, a 4th now.
Dude, I think he has to push because that Greater Spire has already started. A ton of spines on the way.
He is gearing up to control the right side of the map and never be bothered again.
I'm getting nerd chills right now, Tasteless. Get me a blanket because DRG's playing a perfect game right here. He's done very little serious damage to Genius, but he's timing out everything. Genius going to take a 4th, but behind this 4th, he's going to have to attack, or in front of it, I must say. He has to start putting on pressure because if those Broodlords get out on 5 bases, DRG's going to be
We're going to have the engagement here, catching the Zerg a little bit off guard. The
But don't forget, we don't have a lot of force fields. Great force field usage, though, for what he
The
has.
Immortal stuck in the back now gets up there and is able to do some more damage.
That's right, targeting down as much as he
Colossus can
can.
trample the force fields and keep moving on.
A good amount of stalkers right now. We have a bunch of corruptors on the way. Those can help out with the Colossi and then turn into Broodlords if possible. Some fungals just to slow him down. He's going back to the
Now,
area with
don't forget,
spine
the
crawlers.
angle he's coming in, he might not have to deal with all the spine crawlers. The spine crawlers are made if you come there from the left side of our screen, not the top. And he can actually snipe the hatchery from here if he gets just that right position. Fungal's going down here on the stalkers.
It's good fungals, but this timing is even better. A lot of roaches still on the way. He has no time to make Broodlords, but if he can kill off these Colossi, he may be able to stabilize with his roaches.
All right, he's got to rely on Blink Micro now if all the Colossi are gone. The hatchery was taken out in the counterattack. I mean, the Nexus, rather. Now he's closing in on this hatchery. I think this timing might have just been perfected up by Genius.
That's right.
The problem is
an unfathomable amount of roaches on the way. Tasteless 32 roaches were being made at once. So even though he is, looking
he's
very
so
gently,
smart. He's going to go for the main.
Oh yeah.
He could have gone for expansions, but he says to himself, "I don't have a fourth base up yet. If I go for the main, this game ends."
That is right.
He gets it.
Oh, and down goes the last Colossi. Down goes the last Immortal. And now we have only 2 sentries in the mix as well. DRG has to buy time, get
He
more
needs
roaches
to
out,
try to
do
get a
damage.
force field up on that ramp if he can. He needs to blink back. The Colossus is on the way, but attacking the Creep Tumor, blinking back continuously now.
That is so many soccer stations, but we still have 25 roaches in production.
Blinks on top of it right when he realizes he is absolutely ahead, and that's going to be a GG.
Amazing timing. I cannot even believe it, Tasteless. That was
so good.
Perfect timing attack.
Damn.
No, notice how Genius, just so full of confidence, he knows that if he hits his timing attacks perfectly, there are some holes in the way DRG is playing, which is some of the best play I've ever seen. That game was that is textbook perfectness from both sides.
What's so funny is that had that attack been stopped, Genius would have lost. He was still on 2 low
100%, you are correct.
And his Colossus count was already reset.
DRG holds that. Genius is dead, 100%.
Yeah.
He has to kill him with that. He got rid of the Colossi. It just was not enough. A great timing attack by Genius.
DRG, maybe he's playing too middle of the road right now for Genius's playstyle. Genius, when I saw the push out there, I thought, well, he might kill some units, but DRG has an infinity spine crawlers. But he went around them and just got the angle that the spine crawlers could have been utilized.
Basically, if you want to copy ZVP, copy what DRG just did, because he played it amazingly, but there was nothing tricky at all in it. It was very straightforward, very standard by Zerg, and Genius knows those timings.
He does. He trains with DRG. I mean, what more can you say? Guys, get on Twitter, #GSL.
That's right. Follow Artosis and Calming Tasteless and GOM TV. You got to do it, man. We're trying to grow esports. I want that stuff trending. Let us know when it is.
Cheers to you in the bar crafts. Finish your beers right now. I don't care if you just got one. I can't. I get a stump. No, shut up. Finish your beer. This is just a good day. All right, Artosis. Cheers, my brother. All right, let's do this, man. You know, this stuff's actually really good.
Yeah, Hot 6 is quite nice.
It's really good. It's nice because we get it for free now. I can just take that right back home and take a crate of that home.
I take a pallet every night,
I know.
man.
Come to work with a backpack and just take that stuff home. Thank you to our sponsors at Hot 6.
That's right.
Without sponsors like this, esports wouldn't be where it is today.
That's right.
Be a bunch of guys
without
competitive on the internet. Yeah,
it wouldn't be there either.
So, do you think DRG still has a chance? I think he does, but he's got to mix up his play style.
Well, let's not forget that ominous statistic. Only Nestia has won after losing the first game. But
that's
Nestia
true.
is the best Zerg in the world. Who's the best Zerg in the world right now?
DRG. Got that right. I don't. Do we know what map number 2 is? We don't actually have the list in front of us. I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Too excited about everything.
Yeah, I'm too excited.
My head is everywhere at once.
Map number 2 is going to be very important because, actually, let me say this. It was interesting to see Genius play a very middle-of-the-road game compared to DRG, who normally does that and succeed. All right, guys.